Roland, stretch your adductors. I didn't even know that I had adductors, and it seems I have even more.
There is not only one, there are 2, 3. Stand as wide as possible.
Okay.
The muscles that pull, that prevent you from standing with your feet wider apart, those are the adductors.
Also the inside?
The adductors are here. These are all the muscle bundles that you feel on the inside of the thigh. There are shorter ones, very short ones, shorter ones, longer ones down here. All the muscles in here, those are the adductors. They are also called pullers. The thigh pullers are those.
Let's make it smooth, shall we?
Let's do it right away. But before we start, adductors, what kind of problems do they actually cause? They have a lot to do with hip problems, with inflexibility, can even pull into the back, so lower back pain, that can also come from the adductors. We want to address all of that now. By the way, if you've injured your adductors, always move very carefully. You can stretch gently. If you know something is injured, something is swollen or something like that, you just become even more careful. If you are unsure, then just go to your doctor. Have it checked beforehand. And now for the exercise. To be able to do the exercise as best as possible, you need a windowsill, a table, or a chair. We took a slightly higher chair. A low chair may be too low because you have to lean forward. You should be able to support yourself upright at about this height. Stand over there, René.
Ideal for me.
Yes, stay still like that, completely normal. And now it's all about properly aligning the pelvis. Go into a hollow back with a duck butt, then you will see from the side, here the lumbar spine is now arching inward. That should not be. The opposite should be. You achieve the opposite by pulling back the navel and pulling up the pubic bone.
Aha.
Pull up pubic bone.
Aha.
And now you have seen, now the pelvis has moved in this direction and has straightened itself. And that is an important basic requirement for this exercise. Leave the pelvis exactly like that.
But now I don't have a hollow back anymore, right?
Exactly. You are not allowed to have one either.
Oh, I see.
Good. Then you should not have a hollow back, or let's say, make the hollow back as minimal as possible. So, now it's about the feet. You stay with the pelvis like this, and now go a little forward with your weight. Then you notice that the heels become freer. Do I stand on my feet pads? No. You stay still for now and just feel...
Ah, yes, okay.
Now you go back with your weight and notice that the tips of your feet are no longer pressing firmly on the ground. And we use that now. So when you go back now and your toes aren't so pressured, you turn your feet outward. And then you shift your weight forward so that the heels are less burdened.
Ah, I know what you mean.
And now go out with the heels and calmly even further out. Yes. And you do that first, but now look, now you are too far away from the chair. So either you have to stay in front or you bring your chair, your table closer so that you can stand up straight. And what happened to your hollow back?
Did I do something wrong?
Very precise.
Oh, I have to tilt the hip again.
Yes, exactly. But it can happen that if you are already too wide and already have a hollow back, then you can't get rid of the hollow back anymore. Then you would have to position your feet a little closer together. But you're still okay. Stay straight, lift the pubic bone and pull in the belly button. And then you notice that the tension here increases. And that is the reason why we should stand like this.
But now I'm no longer...
Wait a minute. Because if you go into a hollow back, then you avoid the stretching.
I don't understand.
You evade, which means you don't stretch as well anymore. That's why make the demand higher, straighten the pelvis, then you have the great advantage, because the hip flexor is still involved in most people. And that is the reason why it also has something to do with back pain. But just as a side note as information.
Okay.
What did you still want to ask now?
You said at the beginning that we need the same height. If I go down there now, I won't have the same level anymore.
That's not bad. Taking the arms higher and higher is not a problem. Only if you can't reach down, then you have to lean forward. And that is a problem.
Good.
So, now we have to move the mat a little bit so that you have space for your feet.
So far I can come down, don't fool yourself.
And now feel inside. So keep your pelvis straight and keep spreading further apart.
There's not much more to do.
Yes, as far as possible. As far as possible.
Wow, we're already reaching the maximum now.
And now you go into the intensity that you can still tolerate well. Okay, Renee is far apart. It's possible that you won't get much further up. Completely irrelevant, everyone practices exactly in their position. So, and now you stay in there for a minute.
Wow, I was overmotivated. Can I take a step back?
Yes.
Also again?
It's good that we're rehearsing this. If you notice that it annoys so much, it hurts so much that you can no longer feel positive and comfortable, then you have to get out. Then you have to decrease the stretching again, because it always has to stay below this threshold. There must always be a comfortable pain, okay? And we stay in there for only 1 minute.
How long have I been inside?
You are now 29 seconds in. Yes? So we count from reaching the width where you notice it's really stretching. And now you can calmly go further in millimeter by millimeter if possible.
Going in means going apart?
Yes, but just do it slowly. Very slowly. You can do this with very slow movements so that you still feel comfortable. Could it be that I am making much more progress now after just 1 minute of stretching? The tissue is yielding, the tissue gives way. That's why you have to repeat it every day so that it eventually gives in permanently. So, now 1 minute is up and now you do the following. Now you press with your feet against the floor as if you wanted to pull your feet together. And then you notice on the inside everything here is tense. And you do that carefully but forcefully.
Do I have to think about my hip?
The whole time.
Damn.
Yes, the hip should stay out of the hollow back as much as possible. Then you relax and test if you can go a little further.
Can I actually?
Through the tension, through the strength training, which is built in, your muscle learns to feel comfortable in a greater length. That's the idea. So this contributes significantly to stretching, and at the same time you exert force. Functional strength that you can implement well in everyday life. Trembling is always a sign of overload. If you still feel positive, it's okay, but your face tells me you're already too deep in.
I have already been around for 2 minutes, I think.
Exactly, and that's why the exercise is over anyway. 2 minutes are up. And now slowly go out again. In reverse, you slowly go out the same way you came in. Yes. Now bend your legs a bit, feel into it.
Phew, like rubber, right?
Okay, and now we will continue with the second exercise on the mat. During the exercise you just did standing up with straight knees, the longer adductors are primarily targeted through the stretching. This can also look different in individual cases, but in general it is like this. Now it's more about the short adductors, which span here from the pelvis to the thigh. For that, you actually have to get down on your knees like we are already doing. If you have trouble getting down on your knees, please do the following. Lie on your back, Renee. Okay, now put your legs up so that you have approximately a 90-degree angle and place the soles of your feet against each other.
Like this?
Yes. Okay, and now go with your hands as far as possible on the thighs, yes, and let loose, and pull the knees down with your hands. Pull the knees down with your hands. So? Yes, yes. Now you are naturally a little upright up here. It would be better if you lie down, but if you lie down, you won't be able to reach the legs as far. You have to check out and see what works best for you. You can do the following. You can put a larger pillow here on top, then you have more reach and can reach the knee more, because the more you reach the knee, the better you can exert force to push the knees down.
But I can't bring it closer, can I? That wouldn't be good.
Yes, you can bring it closer, but we start at 90 degrees first, and for most people, 90 degrees is enough. You need to know now, you feel it at home too. You can already join in while we explain this here. The more you have your legs stretched out, the easier it is for you to bring your knees outward towards the ground. The closer the feet get to the pelvis, pull harder, Renee.
What do you mean?
The more you pull your feet towards your pelvis, the more you will notice that it is exciting. And in that moment, you have more stretching. But if you start with a 90-degree angle, then it's actually a pretty good approach. And if you realize you can handle more. Then simply pull your feet closer together and pull yourself down further with your hands. Do not pull upwards. The hands must push down, the legs practically, that the knees, here it tightens, right? Exactly, exactly. So you would do that, or are you taking a minute now? We also do it in the position, calmly, always increasing for a minute.
But Roland, who is this variant good for now?
For all those who, for the adductors, for the rather short adductors, for the people who cannot practically lean on their knees. Then we'll do another variation that is even more intense.
Because I can get down on my knees, so I can also get up?
Exactly, exactly. You pretend now that you can't do it, so that all those who also can't do it, who are watching, can join in. And when 1 minute is up, now you hold your legs tightly and try to bring your knees together. That is, lift them up.
But I don't let go with my hands.
You don't let go, you resist the whole time. And you only exert as much force with your knees as you need to be able to hold on with your hands. That is called isometric contraction, right? That is, again, strength training.
How long?
In the stretched position until I say stop, stop, and now you go further down.
Yes? Oh, it continues again.
Tighten always like that, very precisely. That's the reason why it progresses again there, and you put in strength, functional strength, that allows you to control the joints better, in this case the hip joint, and at the same time you also gain strength overall, which you need for your everyday life to move well. And then you tighten again, as if you wanted to lift your knees up, but they don't go up at all. Proper strength training.
How long do you have to do that?
3, 4, 5 seconds and release again, and once more, one last time, pull down further.
Should I come down any further?
Yes, that's okay.
Unbelievable.
You may have seen it with him, maybe you have also noticed it with yourself. And then slowly relax again, okay? After he has rested, we will do the exercise in a more challenging variation. And please give a comment who of you has difficulties kneeling and cannot do this variation at all. But here's another tip from me, the knees get used to it. If you have very sensitive knees and have gotten used to it, oh, I can't do that at all, can't kneel, can't do a knee stand, can't do a sitting on the heels, still try from time to time. Because with increasing stretching of all the muscles in the area of the knees, the sensitivity of the knees decreases more and more. So keep trying again and again, and eventually it will work, because this exercise here has advantages over others, because it is simply more intense and has a better effect. You are in the quadruped position. Walk your hands a little further forward so that your pelvis could sag, but not yet. Right from the beginning, you mentioned that this exercise is more intense. How many more muscles am I training now, or what exactly is the difference? The stretch on your adductors is more intense. At the same time, you are doing a little strength training for the shoulder, for the arms. You stabilize yourself, so there is much more training involved, but the other exercise is wonderful, also suitable for stretching your adductors. And now you put your feet together and spread your knees apart. Feet together, knees apart.
Like a frog.
Like a frog, exactly. And the further apart your knees are, the better.
Stop, that's even more.
Okay?
Can I pull it all the way, or is that a mistake?
You can do it, it will just get harder then.
Then I won't do it.
As with the other exercise as well, when the angle is less than 90 degrees, it becomes narrower and more challenging. So, and attention, now become aware, where is your groin?
Yes, I really need to become aware of that here, right?
Yes.
And then?
And now you lower the groin.
So down the groin.
Yes. But don't arch your back so much. Now you lower the abdomen. Keep the abdomen up. Go down with the groin. Go down with the groin, keep the belly up. Do you notice the difference?
No.
Okay. Keep the groin up and just lower your abdomen. No? Yes, exactly. Then you notice you are going further into a hollow back. Now you are avoiding stretching again, because now you are stretching something else. Now you're stretching the straight abdominal muscle in front, but less in the area of the adductors, which we want to stretch.
But I already feel the pull down there.
Correct. Yes, and it will pull even more soon. Be careful. Now you straighten out your hollow back. Hollow back out, get out of the hollow back, yes. And now you go down with the groin instead of the belly. Of course, the stomach goes along a little.
Oh, shit.
Yes, but do you notice it is a completely different control? It's good that we explained it so precisely, because then you can feel it yourself, right? So it's not the stomach that wants to go down. You're already going into a hollow back again. Stay out of the hollow back. It's not really bad, but it takes away the stretching from the adductors. And now you go down with the groin, not the stomach, groin. The groins are here. This area wants to go down.
I can't go down any further, Roland.
Exactly. Then the limit has been reached.
Yes.
1 minute, then you press as hard as possible with both knees against the ground.
Why?
So that you can get strength in the muscles that are currently being stretched.
How long?
Until I say stop.
Say stop.
Now.
Okay.
Stop. And now you go down further with the groins.
Can I? Oh, yes, I can.
Yes? It is always good when I say stop, because if you practice it alone, you won't last as long. And the longer you put strength into it, the better the effect. And now again, you tense against the floor with your knees. Tense very tightly against it. Yes, out of the hollow back. Remember, let go. And the groins go down more. The groins go down more. And once again, 3 times, 4 times breathe, and then slowly go out again.
Completely out?
Yes, slow down.
Okay. Excuse me.
That was too fast. You shouldn't do what Renee just did, because the rule in our exercises is always to move slowly and not quickly, slowly and consciously. I wish you a lot of fun practicing now. Repeat the exercise every day and you will notice what happens. Here you can subscribe to the channel for many more videos so you don't miss any. We say ciao.
Goodbye.